What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and we actually have a YouTube exclusive for you guys today. But to give you a timestamp, today is Sunday, July the 7th, and I had to make a quick video about this because that darn Brandon Aiyuk, man. That darn Brandon Aiyuk sure knows how to cause a ruckus or cause some commotion amongst Washington Commander fans with his buddy old pal Jayden Daniels. If you guys don't know, as I've touched base on it in my previous Bleeding B&G episodes, but you guys know they're best of friends, and for the last couple of weeks, they've been really stirring the pot and trying to control the narrative as far as like Brandon Aiyuk's contract situation goes. And, you know, if it doesn't work out with the San Francisco 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk, him potentially being a Washington Commander, they've gone so far as, you know, him being on the pivot, and they've hit them asking him like, well, if you're not a 49er, what team can you see you playing with next year? And he mentioned the Commanders being one of those teams, with Jayden Daniels standing in the background behind the scenes in that episode. He even got a cameo appearance where he mentioned that, you know, he wanted to play with a guy like Jayden Daniels, like he did when Jayden Daniels was a true freshman starting at Arizona State. But yeah, they have been causing quite the commotion, to say the least. And yeah, today is the latest chapter in that Brandon Aiyuk to the Commanders narrative. No matter how false of a narrative it may be, it's gaining a little more traction as the days go by. So as we last talked, or as we last heard, the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk were still pretty far apart on contract negotiations, even after their last couple of meetings. The Wiley talked about meeting where we didn't know if Jayden Daniels was in the meeting with the 49ers. What meeting were they talking about? It was misinterpreted, and it came out that they were talking about he was in the meeting with Ryan Clark at the pivot. But yeah, they have been trying to control their narrative, and today is just the latest chapter in that, in their story, or in this, push to try to get Brandon Aiyuk to DC. And we see today, I have a screenshot of a tweet from my man Jayden Daniels, MVP. He actually had a screen grab where it was 49ers wide receiver, you guys can see for yourself, posted this picture of the Commanders film on TikTok. So this is Brandon Aiyuk posting Commanders film on TikTok, and you see it's from the 2024 season, because you see Jayden Daniels in the backfield, and it's widely assumed, and widely presumed that he's getting this film from Jayden Daniels, and we see Jayden Daniels in the picture here, and we don't know. I've been trying to decipher over 1,000. I've been sitting here trying to decipher since the screen grab dropped about a couple of hours ago. Like, where could this be coming from? Are they watching film at Jayden Daniels' house? Is this coming straight from? This looks like a tablet. Is this film coming from Jayden Daniels' tablet? Are they just watching it? Is it just a screen grab? Is this film that Jayden Daniels sent over to Brandon Aiyuk? That has still yet to be confirmed. But I just wanted to touch base and give a couple of thoughts, because we know how the DC media is. We know how the local radio circuit is. They're going to be all over this tomorrow. So we wanted to get in front of it over here at Bleeding B&G, because you come to us for the most raw, uncut, and unfiltered analysis on the Washington Commanders. And it just seems like they on that LeBron stuff, like with the new age athlete trying to control their narrative. It looks like Brandon Aiyuk is using Jayden Daniels as a pawn in this chess game that he's playing with the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know how I necessarily feel about it. I would love Brandon Aiyuk. Y'all know I've talked about this for a couple of months, especially if you've been following me on social media pages. I would love for us to sign Brandon Aiyuk, because it seems like the trend of, bringing in college wide receivers with college quarterbacks, or guys that they play with in quarterback. It seems to be a trend that works when you see the likes of a Jamar Chase and a Joe Burrow and things of that nature. But this is getting a little out of hand, I must say. And I even made a tweet when I first saw the screen grab, when they first started making his rounds on Twitter. And I said, I'm not going to lie. And you guys can see it on the screen for yourself. I said, I'm not going to lie and say that Brandon Aiyuk screenshot is a great look for Jayden Daniels. And you guys know, if you've been following this channel, you know I was the biggest advocate for. I was the leader of the Jayden Daniels hype train going through off the draft season. I was ready to throw the fisticuffs with people when they were talking about the Drake May and Jayden Daniels baits. If you guys are true to the channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I mean, I'll be a fool to say that I didn't think that this was the greatest of looks, because as I mentioned before, it seems like as if it didn't seem before, and I kind of got that vibe after watching the Pivot interview and things like that. It seems like Brandon Aiyuk is using Jayden as a pawn. And I know that it's his best friend, and I'm not saying that he's doing it with any ill intentions, because, you know, he's really trying to he's using his best friend as a resource to try to get himself the bag. And I'm not knocking it by any means. But I was even chopping it up when the video from the Pivot came out with my guy Rio Robinson. Shout out to him. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. But even I mentioned then, I was like, and he kind of convinced me. I was like, Adam Peters can't love this media tour on Radio Row. It seems like Jayden Daniels and Brandon Aiyuk are doing to try to get Brandon Aiyuk to DC. And he had mentioned like, yeah, but, you know, we don't know if Adam Peters is kind of like pushing that and kind of like telling Jayden to force the issue as far as he can go without, you know, tampering. But is this tampering? Would this be considered tampering? An outside player watching our film and things of that nature. And know why I don't necessarily think that this is a huge deal, because we are going to see, you know, film come out from training camp, no matter how much they try to cancel the practices, to not let fans close the practices, to not let fans out and things of that nature. It's inevitable that we're going to see some film, some formations coming out of training camp and things of that nature. But just to see an opposing player posting this, like I said, it seems like Jayden is being used as a pawn, and it's just not a great look from my viewpoint. And that's somebody that's the biggest Jayden Daniels fan in the Washington Commanders community, and I can stand 10 toes on saying that. Y'all know who was the first one telling you that he was better than Drake May. But going back to it, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments. And we can see some of the people that replied to what I had to say, because, you know, we always going viral. Our tweets always popping. We can't ever just tweet an independent thought and just let it be over there on our X. That's why you should follow us, because every time we post, it goes viral. But my man Andrew Livingston said, odds are they're watching it together. Let this be the worst look. It's no big deal. I agree. It's not necessarily a huge deal, but you know, I'm big on, you know, I don't deal with gray, right? It's black or is it white? Would you rather Jayden Daniels be sharing this film with Brandon Aiyuk, or would you rather him not be doing it? And I'm on the side of me rather him not be doing that. So I'm on that side, and that's what I mean when I say it's not the best of looks. This isn't any assassination on Jayden's character. My man, or Tim Meeks said it's a bad look for Aiyuk, not JD. Don't twist it. Not sure what I was trying to twist there, old Timmy old pal, but I just tweeted my independent thoughts. It looks like Brandon Aiyuk is using Jayden Daniels as a pawn to try to get him to, you know, the Commanders. I see my man Les, don't want to butcher your last name, so I'm not even going to say it, but he says it's an excellent look. Hey, and I'm open to that line of thinking because it does show that, like, yeah, we're dealing with a real organizational transformation over here where we're actually wanted. We haven't been wanted as a franchise since Dan Snyder was paying fucking Dubai money to get free agents over here, because that was the only way that he could get free agents over here. We haven't been a free agent destination in quite some time. So I get where you might say that that's an excellent look. I'm just sharing my viewpoints on it. Not saying that it's necessarily a huge deal, but I will say that training camp cannot get here soon enough. I told y'all the dog days of the summer. We are dealing with the doldrums of the summer. And while I would love Brandon Aiyuk to be a Commander in 2024, I just don't necessarily see it happen. Not unless we get to the trade deadline and we're in the alternate universe where roles are reversed and we're the contending team and the 49ers are struggling out the gate and you're looking to have a fire sale, then we can maybe get him for less compensation than you might get him now, because I've always been a believer that if you were going to do this, you would have bought him in around draft because you had the second overall pick. You knew you were drafting Jayden Daniels. So if this was to happen, I thought that it would have been done by now, and if it were to happen, I think that it will happen in the during the trade deadline. Excuse me, but I would definitely love Brandon Aiyuk to become another weapon for Jayden Daniels to complement Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson, because as you guys know, I'm not necessarily as hot on Jahan Dotson as some of you guys are. But let me know how you feel about this, man, because I'm letting you know now, this is all you're going to be hearing on your radio tomorrow. So we wanted to get out in front of it to give you the most raw, uncut, unfiltered analysis. You see, we always chopping it up on social media. Go ahead and follow us on X at BleedingBNG. You see the tag there at BLEEDINBNG. Our Instagram is at BleedingBNG, BLEEDING, and yeah, I'll be back with a lot more content as we deal with the dog days of the summer. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll check in on you later. Peace.